Hello students, and welcome to the presentation on lifestyle choices. Now this is a companion lesson to the wellness and the aspects of wellness. Right? This presentation is meant to discuss why people might choose certain actions in their lifestyle and how we move from actions that can cause premature death and then move the other side of the spectrum to achieve optimum health. Okay, so let's think about what affects our lifestyle choices. Okay, you have controllable risk factors and uncontrollable risk factors. Controllable risk factors that can impact our lifestyle are exercise, food, nutrition choices, sexual activity, smoking, alcohol and drug use, and any destructive decision. These are all things that we as people can control. Then you have the uncontrollable risk factors. These factors are out of our control. These are done for us, and there's nothing we can do about it except for hopefully mitigate some controllable risk factors. And these are your age. You can't affect your age. You're going to happen. You're just going to get older as time goes on. Your sex or your gender, how you were born. You're born with certain organs in your body or different types of hormones, and that affects your health. Ethnicity or race, whether African American, Latino, or different ethnicities across the world, that can impact your health. There are statistics showing that certain ethnicities are better at fighting certain diseases than others. Genetics, disease, disorders, diabetes. These are things you're born with or have a better chance or a greater chance of getting because of your genetic code. And then family history, blood pressure, depression, alcoholism, dementia. If your family has had it prior to, there is a likelihood that you can get it. Now this is a little different from genetics. You're not born with this. You can acquire this. Now it doesn't mean that your brain chemistry might lead to this, but you can certainly get it. And just because a family member had something doesn't mean that you will have it either. It's just something to look at or think about. Okay. Commitment to health. A person can make a commitment to health and make behavior changes at any age. Okay, from age 5 to age 75. It's important to understand the risk factors to help lower your risk of health problems and make those proper behavior changes to enhance your wellness over time. Okay. Now, people can often take a holistic approach. This is improving all 8 aspects of wellness, all right, to tighten the rope in each strand. Okay. I'm not going to lie, and a big barrier to people is the commitment to health and behavior. It takes a lot of hard work and self-discipline. It's easy to take the easy route, and we're wired to take the easy route. But if we can overcome that and take more efforts to work a little harder, all right, and have self-discipline, all right, to do the things that we need to do, all right, we'll be in better shape. Okay, and something to think about: life expectancy in the United States as of 2018 is 76 years old for male and 81 years old for female. All right. Some people say they don't want to live that long, but I think everybody, once they have children or grandkids, want to live as long as they possibly can to have time, all right, to accomplish their ultimate goals. Okay, and then just a commitment to health and your well-being, all right, can improve your quality of life, can improve optimum health, and then longevity. And it will mitigate premature death so that you can experience all that life has to offer. The health spectrum. Now, there's a spectrum from premature death to optimum health. And how we achieve optimum health is moving away from the actions that can cause premature death. So what are they? Okay. Premature death. A lot of people know this. Poor eating habits, destructive decision making, live a sedentary or just non-active lifestyle. If you limit your learning activities and you don't want to get to know new things, all right, if you just have a job that you may not like, that can certainly affect your health. If you smoke or vape or use drugs regularly, that can lead to premature death. Not necessarily just health-wise, but it can impact destructive decision-making. If you don't practice hygiene or cleanliness, or you don't have organization at home, that can certainly cause more stress that lead to premature death. If you don't see a doctor regularly, we don't often know the problems that we have. And then if you get less than 7-8 hours of sleep, now there are some people, the sleepless elite, that can get less than 6 and do great, but most people need that recovery time for your brain and your body to recover. Optimum health. Okay? It's essentially doing the opposite of premature death. If you're consciously healthy eating, that doesn't mean that you have to eat everything that doesn't taste that great just to make it far in life. It just means that you're conscious of eating healthy regularly, all right, not just having poor eating habits. If you think before you make your choices, all right, choices are a part of life. So think before you act. If you exercise regularly, all right, this can be anywhere from 30-minute walk per day to 2 to 3 times a week doing resistance training. Some sort of exercise is better than no exercise. Our bodies were meant to move. If you're a lifelong learner, that means your commitment to getting better and improving your mind. That will give people motivation and purpose. If you develop a career, so as opposed to just a job that makes money, a career gives people a little bit more purpose. It's something to work for and to improve upon, and it takes into the account lifelong learner, and it takes a multitude of jobs to make up a career. If you don't smoke or vape or use drugs, that will significantly impact your health. If you live in a clean and organized environment, a lot of people don't realize, but having a clean, neat, organized room can actually decrease stress, or living in a healthy environment can decrease stress, and that's great for the mind and the body. If you see the doctor annually so you know what's going on, get checked up, it's a great monitoring service. And then if you get 8 hours plus sleep, teenagers probably need about upwards of 10. I know it's hard to find that time, all right, but bodies are growing and you need to recover. Whether you exercise, right, or whether you learn something during the day, your mind and body need to recover and tie all loose ends together. So why do people make destructive choices? Like, most people know what decisions can cause harm and what choices are good for a person. But if we know that difference, why do people continue to make unhealthy choices that could lead to premature death? It's like, if we know driving fast can lead to more of an accident, why do teenagers or young people or any person want to drive consistently fast? Right? Or if we know eating fast food and takeout, more than 2 to 3 times a week can be negative towards your health, why do we continue to do that? Right? So if we know the things, why do we continue to make those decisions? Well, let's brainstorm for a second. Okay, reasons for destructive choices. Now, over time in my health career, these seem to be the big answers. All right, let's find out what they are. All right, first few. The number one answer I get is it's fun. Some people like destructive choices. It's fun. It attracts attention. It's pleasurable for the brain and the brain chemistry, and they just do it. Okay, it's the easy choice. People like the easy choice. Anytime you have to think about a secondary step, automatically people don't want to do it. It doesn't take any thought or skill, like I said before. If you don't have to think about it, or you don't have to practice anything to do it, it's easy. Okay, finances. Some people don't have the money or have too much money, and they use it for destructive choices. So if you don't have enough money, you might do something to try to get it. Or if you have too much money, you might spend on things you might not need that can lead to destructive choices. Peer pressure is a big one, especially in teens, but it still happens in college age. And even when you get to adulthood, egging people on to do something. Okay? Negative emotions, anger or depression, can lead to destructive choices. Again, it goes back to the first few, or it's fun, or it's the easy choice where you don't have to think about things. So if you're angry or upset, you may not want to, you want to get yourself out of that. So you're going to take the easy way or the fun way to try to solve that problem. Limited education and knowledge. All right. A lot of people make choices because they simply don't know. I look about nutrition, and a lot of people don't eat right because they don't know things. They just don't know the research. They don't know the study. And that takes time, and that takes commitment, and it takes thought. Limited or no life purpose. If people don't feel like they're living for something or living for an idea or a cause, they might just be like, oh, well, if something happens to me, it happens to me. Right? So having a purpose can really limit that. Fear of embarrassment. Some people will feel embarrassed if they don't participate with the group, and that goes back to peer pressure. Acceptance goes back to peer pressure. Doing things that, will make you feel a part of a group, which is very important to people. Poor stress management skills. Some people just don't know how to handle the stress of day-to-day life, and they cope with it using drugs or alcohol or anger or other destructive choices, right, that are easy and solve the problem initially. Poor environment. If you're not around an environment that constantly makes good choices, you might make more bad choices than good. No motivation, again, goes back to purpose. If you don't have motivation to do well in things, school, for example, you're going to do the opposite. You're not going to participate in class. You're not going to get good grades. You're not going to learn anything. And then boredom. Some people just don't have anything to do, and it goes back to purpose. And if they're bored, they might do something crazy just to occupy their time, and that could be dangerous or destructive. All right, so there's a balance between this, and actually you'll see it's called the hedonic lifestyle and the Eudaimonic lifestyle. And, well, what are they? Well, the hedonic lifestyle is promoting happiness from multiple pleasure experiences. It basically means that it's kind of like the YOLO model. You only live once. Get as much happiness out of life as you can, because you never know when you're going to go. Okay? So the idea is to get as much pleasure as you can, and often a disregard for consequences as a result. Drinking to excess, multiple relationship partners, doing drugs, partying, living for today without the thought of tomorrow. It's very action-oriented, which means do now. Do whatever makes you happy now. And it works on the idea of instant gratification. Provides happiness for your mind and your body in the moment. And then there's a drawback. The satisfaction of the in-the-moment choices today may cause long-term problems. How many times have people done something or said something because they don't care, and it comes back to bite them later down the line, whether it's a few days later or even 10 years later. We're seeing that now. Now, the Eudaimonic lifestyle, this promotes happiness through experiences that promote meaning and purpose. This is living for something else. Okay? The main idea is life of purpose is to set goals. The achievement of those goals will bring greater happiness. And then it's very goal-oriented as opposed to action-oriented. You look towards the future. It's delayed gratification as far as psychology goes, that if we work towards something and the gratification is delayed, we'll feel better about our accomplishment later, knowing that we worked so hard to accomplish it. But then the drawback is the pursuit of long-term goals could limit the experiences that you have in the present. And some people work towards so many goals that they don't get to live in the moment. So my advice is try to find a way to balance both without impacting one way or the other. Live in the moment, but have goals. And whatever you do to live in the moment should not impact your long-term goals. Now that we're coming to the end, let's review the presentation on lifestyle. Here's some key points. There are controllable and uncontrollable risk factors that affect our lifestyle and quality of life. Controllable risk factors include diet, exercise, smoking, drug and alcohol use, and destructive decision making. Uncontrollable risk factors include age, sex, gender, ethnicity, family history, and genetics. Health and quality of life run on a spectrum from premature death to optimum health. The decisions a person makes influences the direction of their quality of life and life expectancy will go. People often understand what is right and wrong, but make decisions anyway. And the reasons can include fun, the easy choice, peer pressure, acceptance, finances, limited education, negative emotions, and poor stress management skills. Happiness can come from two lifestyle philosophies, hedonic and eudaimonic. A hedonic lifestyle from getting as much pleasure out of life experiences, and it revolves around the idea of instant gratification. Eudaimonic lifestyle comes from getting satisfaction from meaning and purpose. It is a goal-oriented philosophy that revolves around delayed gratification. Thank you for the presentation on lifestyle choices. I hope you enjoyed it. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to look at the supplementary materials online. Have a great day. Thanks.